A frequently asked question that I want to talk about today is the process of information, which is part of the intake process. What I got curious about when I started to meet clients during my consultation for them and I to have a sense of if we are a good fit is that they often were surprised that I wouldn't be asking for a whole lot of historical information. And this makes sense in the context of my practice, where I'm focusing a lot more on the emergent now and what is happening in the present moment. And how does the past show up in the present? But I would also think about, for those who are considering a specific treatment, to think about the intake process akin to having a 5-course meal, aka a phased approach. What I mean with that is, what do we need at various stages of being alongside another? For example, the beginning or the starter stage could be more to do with strengths and ways of coping and ways that the client has looked after themselves in getting a sense of that information in just enough so we can start to build a picture in our mind's eye about what it is this client is bringing forth in session and how we can best support them. And while that relational process is happening, and we have felt like there is curiosity and we are now ready to move to the next aspect of our being together, and in the metaphor of the meal, perhaps it's the stage of having a platter of different options, and this could be the stage where we dip in slowly into what feels important and how is the past living in the present, and so on and so forth. I feel like this aspect of seeking a lot of information altogether perhaps comes a lot more from the medical model, where a prescription needs to be funneled into one or two things that this client is presenting with. But when we move away from that model and think about the integrated or holistic ways of looking at a person, there is so much that we are constantly gathering. And instead of thinking about this process as a summative process where we end somewhere and we create a reduction, I like to think about it as an exploratory process, and that knowing knowing the client is an ongoing part of our relational space. But perhaps what is asked of the person in the room or in the space is based on either their interest or their curiosity, or something that's emerging from the now. I feel like this aspect needed to be talked about, because we seem to be just interjecting the ways that some other practitioners focus on their modalities and their ways, and we haven't stopped and questioned about our ways. I always think about this metaphor that one of the somatic practitioners that I deeply admire, Resma Manikam, speaks to, which is about savoring or nibbling rather than gobbling. And I wonder, as practitioners, in this way of seeking information in the first 2 or 3 sessions, if we are really staying with that sensation of savoring and nibbling and enjoying the process of being together and not overwhelming yourself and another. I hope this aspect of sharing is useful to you both as a practitioner but also as a client. And I feel like if you're watching this as a client, question your practitioner on their approaches and what makes them do what they do. And I feel like a lot can come from that dialogue. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you can subscribe to my channel for more.